That's the money shot there, but
Yeah, look at that, how they fit in there. That is beautiful right there.
so we got quite a bit of space. I think if you had a piece of wood, something like that,
Right.
to go in between here,
Yeah.
keep air circulating, and then
Okay.
in the back, like you said.
Oh, I see. So something in the middle to hold the gap, and
Everybody
something
talks
on
about
back.
these getting hot in these bays with the door closed on a hot day, sun
Okay.
shining on it,
Right.
and the over temperature protection shuts them down. And
Well-
these have got that.
It looks like we have the room to do that, and I have a 2x4. We can definitely slip down either in the middle here, or do we want to
I think
have
you need
something to
really
stand on both?
Is this
So,
something we can peel off?
That is just a spare piece of board. If you
we
want
could peel this
actually
off and
peel, yeah.
Where's
hold
that?
on.
Here it is.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that board off of there, and we'll just use that.
Somebody lead us to somewhere. We're stuck here, and we're never gonna leave. Stuck in the middle of nowhere.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Happy Hour Live. I'm Dave. I am wearing pants tonight. So, how is it going? Burns, Oregon. What a week. What a week, guys. I am in Burns, Oregon, supporting Miss Bonnie. You guys haven't seen a lot in the videos. I have a lot of footage that I'm still trying to put together to get those videos out. And her mom passed away, and I came on out here to support her. So that is where I am. But welcome to Open Mic Night. It's been kind of a sad week. I'm not going to lie. It's been kind of a sad week. It's been a busy week, and I haven't had a lot of time to work on videos. That was just a teaser for this what I was hoping that I would be able to release this weekend, and I have not been able to finish that up. But hopefully, with any luck, there's a lot of flies here. Oh my gosh, you guys! Yeah, it's there's a lot here. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, so much to catch you guys up on. I got out to Burns, and I have been living on the solar. The solar is doing great, but we'll give an update on that. Fantasy football, we've got lots of teams. We need more teams, though. I think we're up to 13 or 14 teams. My goal is 20 teams. I'd love to have 20 teams, split it into 2 divisions. Everybody will still play everybody else. I've never run 2 divisions, and that would be a lot of fun. So definitely, if you're interested, let me throw the ticker right across the bottom here. Put fantasy football in the subject line right there. There's the email, and that will get you to me. I will send out a link. If you received a link and it didn't work at first, I had some settings wrong. I only had it set for 8 teams, and we finished that up pretty darn quick. We had 8 teams almost immediately, and once it was full, it was rejecting anybody that might have tried to sign up. So that has been expanded to 20 teams, and with any luck, I would love to fill every one of those spots. So if you are interested, if you have somebody, a football fan in the family that would like to join in, send me an email right there at the at that ourendeavor4you@gmail.com, and put fantasy football in the subject line, because I do get a bit of mail, and I will be looking for that. Specifically, we only have one more week. The 3rd is the draft, and I'll talk a little bit about that tonight as well. But don't worry if you don't know football. I think everybody will tell you that played last year. If you don't know football, it is still fun to play. You don't have to know anything about football, and it is a lot of fun. I give weekly updates at the lives just to kind of let everybody know who's doing what, and you get to pick your own team name. So I see some creative team names on the in the league right now, and look forward to seeing more names on there. Let's go in and real quick, let's jump back here. Did Richard M get the first in the house? No, we're going to go Cowboy Biker Adventures. Don got first in the house, and he says hello, everybody from Bend, Oregon. I had to leave Don, and I went over and talked to him, and just let him know. And I hope to be back. My guess is next Saturday, Don. I'll be back that way. So I apologize. I was hoping to kind of show Don around and show him some of Central Oregon and maybe do some filming along the way. But life happens, these things happen. So Cosmic Mermaid and Starman are in the house. They are on the Fantasy Football League. Glad to see you guys there. Miss Lamona, how are you doing? Glad to have you in. I want to get in on the fantasy football. I'll try to pop in, but we're watching a movie. I will try to remember that, Miss Lamona, and I will send you a link. I think I already have your email address. So let's see, going right on down. Richard M is in the house from Benson, Arizona, right down there by Tombstone, one of my favorite places. Hopefully you've gotten over there to Tombstone. RV Living Life, Miss Carol and Mr. Gary. He just kicked out a video and putting a AC, now correct me if I'm wrong, AC start, a soft start. And fascinating to watch that. But there was an exciting moment that I had to laugh during it and he left it in the video. Good for you, Gary. I really like that. Go check that out. Cruising on down the way here. Guys, let's see here. HC Carefree Highway. Glad to have you here. I think they are on the Fantasy Football League. I'm trying to remember everybody's names on there, and I just had a chance to kind of scan over it before I signed on here. Miss Jennifer LaFord, glad to have you here. Let's see here. WCRV Adventures, they are in the Fantasy Football League. Glad to have you here. X Fired Up. I can't remember if you're on the Fantasy Football League or not. Are you? I think you are. I can't remember. Anyway, glad to have you guys here. It has been a busy week for me, so I apologize for not having part 3 of that battery install done. Let me just go ahead and throw the link up here. Press enter. There we go. That is the link right there. Click on the link. That will put you into the green room. I'll see you right down there below below my screen, and would love to have you on. Mr. Gary, I hopefully we'll see you tonight. Mr. Gary from RV Living Life. I know Miss Carol has a team. Did you get signed up? The X Fired Up says, no, I'm not, Dave. Oh, darn it. Well, maybe we can get you to do that. We need more teams, guys. We need about 6 more teams. So, and if you, like I said, if you have somebody that's interested in joining in, absolutely, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, I'll be giving updates every Sunday just to kind of let everybody know how the teams are doing. And I do ask, you can be pretty darn creative with the football team names, but just remember that they will be posted and you're going to be called out. So try to keep them at least R-rated. And what's in the name, but yeah, you never know. Tickner Adventures is dropping into the house. Glad to have you here. Oh, gosh, I can't remember. They are over on the East Coast, if I remember correctly. So glad to have you. That's David and Ninette right there. Oh, so guys, I need to know from the people that have solar out there, what do you normally get um, uh, for you? How much wattage do you have, and what do you normally get at peak during the day for your solar? Um, I am pushing 1400 watts, and I'm right now. Typically, I'm somewhere between 40 and 50 amps coming in. And I'm just kind of curious what other people. It seems like it's not kicking out as many watts. It's not kicking out as many amps as I would hope. And I don't know if I have a problem up there on the roof or not, but it's hard to say, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to check that and see. But just kind of curious. I figured I'd put it out there in the room for the people that do have solar up on the roof, and what they are seeing. And I'm kind of curious if somebody has a similar amount of solar up top, or if does that sound low? I struggled a little bit with I have two systems up on top, and one 400 watt system is actually its job is to push through and charge the lead acid batteries. It works a little bit backwards from the way that I would like, and I don't know if there's a workaround or a way to do it, but it essentially is able to charge dual battery systems, which I have, and charge what I hoped was it would charge the lead acid, my start batteries that I actually used to start the coach. That's handling all the 12 volt on the coach. And then when it got done with that, it would charge the house batteries, the lithium batteries. Well, it's kind of working, but it's backwards. So it's charging my lithiums, and sometimes my lithiums don't get charged all the way through the day, and my lead acid batteries are kind of the little red-headed stepchild. They're not getting any charge at all during the day, and I use that. That's what drives my lighting, the stereo, the bedroom TV. So I'm just kind of curious what the experience is out there for you guys. But so far, if I had to start the coach, today and yesterday have done really well, and I have the lithiums all charged up, but boy, trying to get those lead acids charged up is quite the task. So I'll let you know, and I definitely will film it, and I'll cover it, um, and let you know how that turns out. So, oh my gosh, Tigner Adventures out. I missed them by a few states. They are in Oklahoma. Glad I need to spend more time in Oklahoma. Traveling Merton and Sue, they said hi, everybody. Glad to have you here. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the if you're joining us late, we do have our 14 teams on the Fantasy Football League. We've got 1 week left, and I don't do a lot of advertising on that for the Our Endeavor League, and these lives are really just about it. So if you're interested in joining the fantasy football for this year, which I hope that you will, we are at about 14 teams. I am trying to get us up to 20 teams if possible. So that's okay if we fall a little bit short. We're still going to be able to play. But the model number of the Renogy, Gary, that is I don't know the model number, but if you Google or look up, however you might, the Renogy 50 amp DC to DC MPPT charger, it will come up, and they have a 30 amp model and a 50 amp model, and I have the 50 amp model. So it has replaced a lone MPPT inverter that I had, this one capable of charging 2 battery banks. And that's really what I needed. Unfortunately, it's kind of backwards from what I was hoping. So I'm hoping that I don't run into trouble later on down the road. But I know one of the first problems that I had being plugged in at Thousand Trails was that and I was in the trees, so there is no solar. It does not draw, my lead acid battery bank does not draw a charge off of the inverter. The inverter is solely charging just the lithium batteries, which is great. But one morning I looked at my voltage, and my lead acid side had dipped down to about 11.5 or 11.7, which is definitely, they're done. I mean, at 12 volts, I think 12.1 is technically, for lead acid batteries, they're dead. So yes, that is it. That is it right there. Now, and I'm not going to badmouth Renogy. I have found issues with all of the parts that I have installed for this system, and I'm still trying to get used to it. Guys, can I be completely honest? I have what is technically kind of an expensive shunt and monitor for it. I do have the Invictron monitor. It was recommended, and I went ahead and purchased one of those. And one of the things and Renogy is no different. Renogy is doing it too. They're putting all this stuff on Bluetooth, and I have found a new pet peeve, a new irritation in my life. Can I just say it? This whole Bluetooth nonsense is kids' games. Can I just tell you how I really feel? I am so frustrated with this whole idea of I have to pick up my phone to look and see what my battery systems are doing. And I'll give you once more, is the signal is really weak off of these things. So I literally have to get either in the very back of the coach, or I need to get outside, walk back, and stand by the back of the coach so that I can connect to these. It's just silliness. It is just silliness. Give me a monitor inside. I'm gonna have to look that up, because there's got to be a way to do this. I want a monitor inside that I can look at my batteries when I wake up in the morning, throw on my robe, I'm getting my coffee, and I just want to check and see how my batteries did through the night. And this whole nonsense with the Bluetooth, it's just kids' games. I need a gauge. Give me a gauge stuck on the wall that is reading all the time, and I'm in. And I'm gonna have to look that up and see what I can come up with that. But it has been a sense of irritation to have to get up in the morning, walk all the way to the back of the coach so I can connect with my phone, which I don't even want to be holding in the first place. I don't want to hold my phone. I don't even want to look at my phone. I want to enjoy my coffee, and I want to know where my batteries are at. And there is so much distraction already on your phone with all of the notifications for news and messages and emails and everything else. And now one more thing. So I do not want to look at my phone in the morning, and that's when I really want to know where my battery voltages are. So Don says I can buy a monitor. I'm gonna have to look into that, Don. I don't know. And unfortunately, I have a mix mash. I have both Renogy and Invictron. I don't know how that is going to work. And it would be kind of nice, I guess, if I had all of one thing. But I have found faults with both Renogy, which is a good quality company. I'm not going to downplay buying their products, but I have found faults on both the Invictron product that I do have and the Renogy products that I do have. And oh, Justin and Christina stopped by. Glad to see you here. Hi, guys. So yeah, and then I have one of the simplest, cheapest monitors. I think it was less than $30. That's monitoring my lead acid side. It is literally on a little gauge that sits on top of my batteries right now because I haven't gotten a bracket for it yet. Back there in the lead acid battery bay, I have to tell you, I can open it up in the morning and I can just look, and there it is. I don't have to grab my goofy phone to look at it. And it was one of the cheapest ones, and it is doing a fantastic job. I wish it was saying something different. I wish it was saying that my batteries were full, or, but even though I'm disappointed with what it's telling me, yeah, no. So yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting. Oh, but yeah, this whole Bluetooth nonsense, yeah, that's just goofy. That's just goofy. So, let's see here. Justin and Christina, I don't know where you're at. I haven't watched one of your videos in a while. Where are you guys at? Are you traveling? Are you in Canada? What are you doing there? Glad to have you here, by the way. Oh, yes. Wayne has the same issue with the Bluetooth on the Watchdog Surge Protector. Guys, that's the other one that I've got. Watchdog. And yeah, it shows great information. It shows great information if you're looking at your phone. I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to have to find my phone to see how it's doing. What's worse is they give you alarms and they allow you to send notifications if there's a problem. So it'll send your phone a notification saying your batteries are low or something like that. Oh, good. That's what I need. Another notification. Yeah, I just don't. I don't. So can you tell I just am not happy with the whole Bluetooth thing? I am grateful for all the information that it gives me, but please put it on a gauge inside. And I don't know. I did replace my surge protector earlier this summer with a Watchdog. I actually like that, and I have not created a video on that one yet, but I actually like that surge protector. So that being said, the one that was in it, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it's a pretty common one. It actually gave you a gauge that was it was very basic information, but it gave you a gauge that was inside, in my case, inside my power bay, where my wires are. And it will tell me simply line 1, line 2, how many volts, how many amps are available. And, I know it seems so simple, but it really, that's all I ask is something that's simple. So yeah, X Fired Up. I have seen this done before. Believe it or not, I have seen this done before, and I think I'm going to end up having to do that. And I do have an option to do that. I have basically trying to make adjustments to the system. That's the other thing, is not a lot of information out there on at least the Renogy, as far as what settings. And they give you basic battery profiles, whether it's lithium cell gel, flood acid batteries, or I don't know, I think I said lithium, I think or user. But there's not a lot of information in the manual on where to set those. And there are some adjustments that can be made. So it seems like I'm constantly looking up adjustments on what I need to do with that. But yeah, I may end up. Thank you for that. I have seen that done before, and I actually tried to do it. I tried to do it with an old phone just about 3 days ago, and ran into something interesting with the old phone. I'm sad to say, I got doxxed. And if you're not familiar with what doxing is, this is a phone that I don't use. Unfortunately, somebody that I know, for whatever reason, put this information out, and they put my phone number out on the internet, along with some disturbing information to accompany their post. And unfortunately, when I turned this phone on, I received a bunch of texts that were not nice. And I'm going to tell you guys, I was upset. So I'm trying to decide whether I give more information on that or not, because it was somebody that, it was somebody that is close to the group and close to me. And it was very disappointing. So anyway, let's go on. Yeah, Justin, Christina, they have Bluetooth for their house batteries, a watchdog surge protector, and our chest fridge. Love having it all. Yeah, some people like having that. I didn't know until recently getting this, and I walk outside with my coffee, and I have to look at my phone, which I don't really want to look at. I want to enjoy my coffee and wake up in the morning, and now I'm like, where's my phone? I have to look at, oh, look at that. Oh, news. And the news is so depressing anymore. It's like, okay, now I'm going to start my day off with that. So it's not a good thing. Yeah, and that's the idea. But I believe it or not, I do have a tablet, and X Fired Up mentioned that earlier. I have a tablet that I'm actually not using, and that tablet has a nice big screen, and that really gives me a great idea for getting that getting that information literally on the wall where I can see it. So I have to thank X Fired Up for that. I appreciate that. So Cosmic Mermaid Starman, just remember that getting more technology in the coach is something that Dave doesn't want. Yeah. If it is a monitor system, now I think Invictron actually does make a Bluetooth monitor that is its goal in life, is simply to connect via Bluetooth. And I think Gary has it. He's looking at his latest videos has kind of showed that. And yeah, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Gary, you could let us know, does that connect via Bluetooth? And that is all going to that. If you've watched his AC surge protector, the soft starts, he shows that screen, and I think that is dedicated to that. So all right. So yeah, I'm going to look into different options. I'm going to make that happen. So a few old iPads mounted on the wall. Is that what you've got, Gary? I wasn't sure. Yeah, mounted on the wall. The most recent, I set the monitors to your Starlink. All right. There are some benefits to the new technology. It's just, don't make me look at my phone to do it. I like it. I like it. Oh. Oh, let's go back. All right. Anyway, Yeah, so I got out here and got set up. I can say that the batteries have been charging, and I think somebody a few of you actually said that they were getting they thought the amount of amps that I was getting was pretty consistent with what I should expect from a 1400 watt system. So I was actually hoping for more. Oh yeah, you guys with your Starlink, I tell you what, you have me jealous a little bit because I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works, and um, I'm interested in seeing more on that. So obviously, being that I boondock, so many days per year, and oftentimes there are times when I have very little or no signal, and having that ability to turn that Starlink on and be out in the middle of nowhere, that is, I'll tell you what, that would be a game changer. I really think so. So, mm. Oh. Oh. I can't find it. I think you guys were saying that, yes, that was pretty consistent for what my wattage or my amperage should be. And rolling back here, I'm trying to find it, but I don't see it. It is open mic night. I'm surprised I haven't had one of my favorite nights of the week. I haven't had anybody come up, but let me throw the link up there one more time. If you want to join us, there it is right there. Welcome to come along. And join us. If you click on that link, just make sure that you have a half decent internet signal and a microphone setup. You will have to turn the volume down on your other devices that are showing the live, because there is a reverb there. But would be glad to have you guys on. Oh, Tigner Adventures is joining us. Let's be glad to have you guys on. Oh, there we go. Hi, guys.
Well, hi. Let me turn so I have some light on me. Well, that's not important.
That's David right there. How are you doing, Dave? How is Oklahoma?
Hot.
Is it hot?
We made the wrong trip. I think next year we're headed to Alaska. We've been down south the whole summer, and it's been pretty much in the 90s the whole time. So most places we stop, we end up using our mini split about 24/7. So we're using it all the time. And
Right.
You're talking about solar with your stuff. I mean, if it's really sunny out and I'm parked where I'm getting good solar, then the solar keeps up with the mini split pretty good. But if you guys have been back east, there's not a lot of sun.
Yeah.
Everything's shaded. So
Yeah.
we end up running our generator in campgrounds a lot to keep the batteries up, or we end up, getting someplace that has hookups. We've been staying at Elks Clubs a lot, Elks Lodges, and a lot of them have hookups, so that's worked out well. But I don't think we'll ever do a summer, or at least not going to plan another summer where it's going to be hot every day. That's just been too much.
Well, you're kind of it now. Is Oklahoma considered the South, or is that more the Midwest?
Probably it's more Midwest still. So
more Midwest, yeah.
Because we're still on this side of the Texas Panhandle.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I have not seen a video out from you, David, in a while, and I apologize. I may have missed it. Have you got anything out, or what have you been doing?
I usually put a video out about every 3 days, so I probably put out way too much. But yeah, I've been putting them all out. I don't blame you. I mean, it takes a lot of time to keep up with everybody, and
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So the more friends we make, the more time you don't have.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And let's not forget those videos take time to edit. They take time to go through and put together. So, uh, so David, you guys do a lot of boondocking, and what have you got for wattage up on the roof? And where am I at in this scale of? Am I getting enough amperage out of the solar that I've got?
Well, I've got about 1,100 on the roof. And the other day, it seemed like the sun was shining really good. We were in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We were getting good sun, but I was only getting about 600 to 700 kilowatts coming in. So I actually have on each one of my panels has a fuse. So I was actually going to get up there at some point here in the next week or so and lift up each panel and look at the fuses to make sure that none of them are blowing.
Yeah,
but
and I think you're doing better than I am. I think at any one point I've got I think the highest I've seen is 600 watts coming in out of 14 available up on the roof. Now, granted, it depends on which orientation you're parked, how much shading you're getting, and so forth. But I have wished for a little bit more power coming from these things, and I don't know, what that translates as far as how much I should be getting in versus what I am getting in.
Well, some of it also is all based on your solar charger controller. And so mine is rated at 1,200. And so, I think that, plays a little bit in there and everything. But it seems like I have been up to the 1,000 before. But like you said, orientation, I usually try to point to the east because I get the best, I've taken all my AC units off my roof. So I really don't have anything shading the panels at all anymore. But yeah, I think everyone always wishes they'd had a little bit better production. So I don't think you're too far off there, but it is a learning curve.
There really is. There really is. And somebody, I just saw somebody said I had solar flares on me. I don't know. Let's see if I can. Can I move this a little bit here? See if I can get. The sun is going down here, and hopefully that's a little bit better.
There we go. It looks good from here.
There we go. I tried to show, I always enjoy putting the background in of wherever I'm at. I tried to turn it that way. I originally set up that way. And no matter the light, no matter what I did, I was completely dark. You could not see me at all. And of course you could see the background. So I think one of the limitations of having a camera on your laptop. So may have to think about investing in some sort of camera system for the laptop.
Well, Ninette's out with Tansy walking. We're staying in a welcome center here in Oklahoma, which, by the way, is really nice. They actually have like 15 stalls just for RVs only. And then the truckers are over that way about 30 yards or so. So you don't get all their reefer noise and everything like you do in a normal rest area. But anyway, Ninette's a photographer. So she's always on me about, got to have light on your face, It drives me nuts. But she's really into the production stuff a lot more than I am. I'm more like, let me just get it out there. I don't, I just want to get something out. So
right, yeah. But I totally can relate. I try to watch that whenever I'm filming. I have found the GoPro though, which I use 99% of the time, has been very forgiving on the light, and I've had really good luck with that. So, hey, we got somebody else in the green room. I know there's going to be trouble inviting this guy on. Gary, are you ready to go? He's got
and if you want to drop me off, Don,
Okay,
If you
if
want to
you
drop me
want
off,
to
I
join,
can give room to somebody else, or I can stay on. Doesn't matter.
you are more than welcome to stay on. I think everybody enjoys the conversation, so you go ahead
Okay.
and stay on.
All right.
Mr. Gary, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You?
I'm doing. Oh, you sound really good too. Are you using a mic or what do you got going on there?
iPhone, man. You know that thing that you hate?
Oh yeah,
I use it for everything.
I
Yes.
am not an iPhone fan. I really am not.
You know, when I'm out on the road or something, I'm on my phone. I'm checking the temperature in the coach. I'm checking how much solar's coming in. I'm looking at whether my inverters are running, all that stuff. And I'm adjusting stuff while I'm out on the road. And also when I'm here inside the coach, I pick up my phone and I look over everything to see what's going on.
Right. Now, is it just me? Do you enjoy the Bluetooth side of that?
Well, I'm all about technology, and if it doesn't have Bluetooth, why would you buy it?
So the thing that I wish is, like we were talking about the Watchdog and the Victron and everything. Well, my mini split AC unit has a Wi-Fi piece in it, so it taps into my Wi-Fi, which I have a cellular router, so it's always on, and I can be wherever in the world, and I can pull up on my phone and see exactly what my air conditioner is doing. I wish I could find a Bluetooth that would connect all my Bluetooth devices, like a hub, to the internet, so I could do the same thing and look at all that stuff. So do you know
I think Gary's system does that.
I'll be right back. Hang on. I'll be back.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to go also invite, we have somebody else in the house. Richard M is in the house. Are you ready to go there, Richard? Yeah, a big wave. There we go. How are you doing?
Doing fine. How are you doing?
Good, good. Richard, we've seen you in the room many times. This is the first time that you've been on the open mic night. Glad to have you here.
Well, first time I have in AT&T manual.
All right, that works. I'm moving everything over. I'm trying to get out of the sun. As the sun goes down, it's kind of hitting there. So, Richard, you know, everybody kind of knows me. I don't get to know you until I actually meet you or I have you on the live. So interested in learning about you.
Okay. Retired. Used to work at the University of Alaska in Fairbanks. Worked there for 30 some years. And been on the road now for about 5 years, even though we still have a house in Alaska. So, in fact,
in Alaska.
Yeah, my wife's up there right now because this motorhome was in the shop for over a month. And when I dropped it off, they said, well, it could be a couple of weeks or it could be 4 months.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. How is that going?
It's done. It turned out to be a broken oil line that pumps up oil to the compressor and the hydraulic pump.
Okay, so relatively, it didn't kill you on price. Hopefully,
Well,
it was spendy.
It was 8,000 instead of 25,000. How about that?
Okay, that you know what? When you put
That's
it
a
in
good
that
day.
context, yeah, exactly. Oh, it looks like Gary has got the Gary cam back going here. Let's see. Go ahead and add that on.
I wanted to mention that I have all of these same devices, except I'm using a Raspberry Pi as a hub running Home Assistant. And that's pulling data from the Victron panel and from our thermostats, and I have temperature sensors all over the RV with homemade microprocessors. You know, so I can have tank temperatures and refrigerator, freezer temperatures, all that. And all of that feeds to the internet through Home Assistant.
Okay. And I think I'm hearing a trend here. You have it on a separate device and it's not necessarily on your phone, except for I couldn't tell if Gary has his on his phone, but.
Well, the advantage of the Home Assistant is that it's web accessible, so you use it from anywhere, including the phone.
Okay.
Including the iPhone.
I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, I will say that would be a nice thing, and I haven't gotten to that point. Again, I'm still moving up from flip phone, to so, and that screen is pretty small in that flip phone. I'm just saying. So that's not necessarily true. I got a regular phone, but yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. So
You got the wrong phone.
it is an Android phone.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what makes it complicated.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It does.
Now,
yeah.
the one that Gary, the one that you have now, is that independent of your phone? You have it on. I saw that on the video. Is that something that's hanging on your wall that you can just look at anytime?
Let me see if I can pop this off here for a sec. Just unplug it. And we got to do the Gary cam right, eh? Okay, so here I am. Where is it now? I can't even see it. There's some friggin' head in the way.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know. There it is on the wall there. And I don't know if I can even get it on the screen here because I did not hold my phone right. But it's on the wall. You can see it's working away there. I assume you can see it.
Okay.
And here's my Starlink thing over here.
I can see it. Now
Yeah.
you got a separate device for that as well.
Well, the Servo GX, the one on the right, which is the white gadget there, that is hardwired directly to the inverters downstairs. And it's wired by, there's a USB cable for power, which comes right from there. Plugging it in up here doesn't do you any good if the power goes out. You need the power to come from the source. And there's also a network cable that runs down there too. So it was a bit of a trick to get those two cables down there. But and then on the left, that's just an old iPad there, you know. And when I was up north and we're having trouble connecting to the internet or to Starlink, I put that on the wall so that I could just see that if I wasn't getting anything, you know, I could look over at the wall and I could see, oh, I'm disconnected, and I would look at it, oh, I'm connected again. I would just start surfing again, right?
Awesome.
So is that deal on the right there? That's just a regular Victron control, right? So you're all Victron?
Yeah, there's two gadgets that make that work. One is called the Servo GX, and the other is called the display. I forget what the display is called, but it's like $700 to get the two gadgets, Canadian. So what's that, like $200 US? No, it's about 500 US, I guess, for the two gadgets.
I took the cheap way out on that, and I'm running mine on a Raspberry Pi with a 7-inch touchscreen. Total cost, hardware cost was like under $100, and Victron puts the same software in open source, so you can just download it and run it.
Right.
And so it's a cheap way to do it, and it also functions as the Servo GX function with the USB ports on the Raspberry Pi going to the different Victron devices.
Right. Well, it definitely sounds you're at a higher geek level than I am, which is hard to believe. But it works for me, and I can pick up my phone at any time, and I can see that exact same screen on my phone and do whatever I want with it. But I still find that I have to go into it with my laptop to make pre-configured profiles. Like if I want 30 amp input and 40 amp charging, or if I want 50 amp input and 100 amp charging, I can create all these different profiles, and then I can save them on my phone. And then when I'm on my phone, I can just switch between profiles. Like my next video that's going to be coming out will showing the difference of why you really want a split phase setup in your RV. But then when you go to 30 amp, you got to switch it over to parallel. So I did a little bit of tricky wiring there so I could run 30 amp parallel or 50 amp split phase. Now with the Victron inverters, you can go into the software and you can make that change. But when you go to a new park and you want to make that change, you have to be able to connect to the internet, or I have to take my laptop down to the basement and plug it into the inverter directly to be able to make that change. So I did some wiring, special wiring where I can run it on parallel, and I could go from 50 amp to 30 amp without making any changes. And then once I'm live, I can go on my phone and switch it to split phase or parallel and what have you. And the main difference from that, since I'm talking about it, is let's say, for example, I want to run 3 air conditioners on 50 amp. Okay. So if I'm running 3 air conditioners on 50 amp in parallel, I'm pretty much using all of my power. If I start running a microwave or a toaster or the dryer, then I'm running out of watts. You know, I'm already up to 5,000 watts or 6,000 watts, and that's all you can get out of 50 amp parallel. But if you get into 50 amp split phase, you have 2 lines of 50 amp. So you're getting 240 volts. You're getting 120 50 amp twice. So you can run, like my next video, when you see it, I'm running 3 air conditioners, the toaster, the dryer, the coffee pot, every single thing I can run in here that's high end. And I'm not drawing anything from the batteries because it's all coming in through that double 50 amp source, you know? And then if I could possibly figure out how I could go over on that, my inverters would kick in and start assisting with power. But it's pretty hard to go beyond 100 amps in a coach.
Yeah. You're running 2 3,000 watt inverters as well, and so your latest video, you're actually running 3 ACs on those inverters, and I have to say, man, I tell you what, when I need to set up some inverters, I'm definitely going to look you up, Gary.
Well, I appreciate the thought. You know, I'm going to blow my own horn here, of course, but I'm the kind of guy that if something interests me, I have to know how it works. And I've been that way my whole life. And I learned all this stuff myself. And when people would tell me how it worked, I found flaws in what they were saying. And I figured out how it all works. So I'm going to find out how to wire it in a way that I could switch it from parallel to split phase with a switch. So I had to come up with my own wiring diagram. It took me about a day to figure it out, and I drew it up. I'll send you the diagram there, Dave. I'll show you what I'm working on, but you'll see it in my next video. And, you know, I just, I geek times 20, you know, it as complicated as it is, I love it. I can't break away from trying to figure out how it works, you know. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night, you know.
And I have the exact reaction, except in the opposite, because it keeps me up at night not knowing how it's working and if it's working properly. So there's all of these new systems that I've got going on. I'm doing the exact same thing, except it's keeping me up for the wrong reasons. So
I'm not sure I'm getting a good signal. I'm hearing some distortion. Are you guys hearing me okay?
No, sounds fine.
yeah,
Okay.
You sound fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave again. I think I'm on. I think I'm going through my phone. I'm going to switch over to Starlink. I'll be back.
Okay.
So, Richard, where are you at right now? Because I would like to learn a little bit more about the Raspberry Pi. I've always wanted to learn about Raspberry Pi, but
in Benson, Arizona. One thing about Raspberry Pi is that they're very hard to get hold of right now.
Oh, of course.
But I happen to just have like 5 of them in a box in the stuff that I brought in the RV.
Right.
I think I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4 of them right now. Well, one of them is the ham radio repeater.
Oh, you're into ham radio too.
Oh boy, David, you two need to talk right there.
Yes. I'll be back in Arizona here in about a month.
Right.
We're going to be here for about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I was telling Dave that I wanted to go to Alaska next year. So I have the map all planned out right now already to hit. Let's see, we weren't going to go to Fairbanks. We're going to go to what's the other one over on the coast? Anchorage. Because I have a foster brother that lives there. And so I've kind of planned out to go to Fairbanks and then go to Anchorage, and we're kind of looking at the whole thing. There's not much difference in the actual distance, but overall for us, it ends up being about 7,500 miles for the summer. So it's going to be a big trip.
I like what X-Fire brought up. He said Apple equals evil.
You know, I use my iPhone.
I
use my iPhone. I have the 13 Pro Max, and I use it for everything with my channel. So all my videoing, everything. My wife has the same thing. We just use that. That's all we ever use. And I look at these guys that are using all these different combinations of lots of money, and it's like my phone does it all. I don't have to worry about anything. So
Right. Well, I think I think Gary would agree with you. It's interesting to see the Apple Android debate go on because boy, the people that are iPhone users, they are diehard, and the people that are Android users, really, they're diehard. So it's always it's the old Ford versus Chevy debate.
Well, one thing I can
Yeah.
say is when you go to get a new phone all the time, for some reason, those Samsung or those Android phones are free. That says it all to me.
Well, they're not free, Gary. They're selling you the service. Their object is to sell the service. So they're not free, but yes, they typically do. They are inexpensive enough that the companies can give them away for free to get your
They're free,
service.
Dave. You know, when it's a funny thing. I read something the other day that getting weird noises now.
Yeah, that's only when you're talking.
I don't know what's going on. I'm getting a weird thing on my phone tonight. But anyway,
I think
read
it's an
this on
iPhone
YouTube,
thing,
and-
Gary. Gary,
this on YouTube.
do you have an Android that you can use so that we could hear you clearly?
Oh, I have Androids here that I haven't charged in probably 5 years. When I ran my business and I was putting out, I had apps for my business, and I had to test them on Android and iOS. And it was the only reason I ever had iOS devices. I bought a tablet and a phone and a couple other things, I don't know, so I could test my devices. And when I compared the apps running on an Android device as opposed to an iPhone, it just kept me going on the iPhones because the overall look of the apps, the way the apps functioned, it was just superior.
just superior.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
so maybe changing the subject here for a second, Dave, so we
Okay.
don't spend all our time on iPhone. But so I see you're in Burns, Oregon, which that's where I grew up.
Okay.
So where are you actually at?
I am over off of East. I think it's Harney County Lane, Harney County. It's over on north of, kind of northeast of town. So, and it's actually Bonnie's Ranch that is here, and
Okay.
and I'm actually parked here, and there's plenty of sun, and so I've been able to kind of tinker with my solar and tinker with everything that I've got going on, and have managed to get some systems working correctly, and utterly frustrated with other systems because I don't understand how they're working. So
I did see your video on your lithium install. So at least the first, well, no, I think I've seen the whole thing, but I seen the
Mhm.
part with Bob, and then Bob and Pearl, and then yours, and
Right.
so are you liking those new batteries?
I am absolutely liking the lithium batteries. So far, so good. I can't complain at all, and it is going to make the difference. I haven't run my generator now in days, and with the exception of going over to Thousand Trails where I was stuck in the trees and not receiving any solar whatsoever, that's where I kind of run into a little bit of problem, even though I was plugged into the power pedestal. So so far I'm loving it. So
usually, even when we're visiting different places, RV parks and things like that, I just have a big 10 gauge extension cord that runs from my converter to the pedestal, and I plug in there, and it's charging my lithiums, but I'm always running off my inverter, which is a 3,000 watt inverter. And so I'm typically always running off my batteries. In my case, I have 6 lithiums. So I was kind of surprised that you have 4 when you have a residential fridge.
Yeah. So that's been brought up before, and I think I am a little underpowered as far as the lithiums go. That being said, though, these were donated by Dr. Prepare, and Bob got a hold of me and just said, hey, I have the potential for a battery review that I think would get you switched over to lithium. They originally offered up one battery, and we said no, I can't really use one battery, but if you'll pony up four, both of us will be happy to make videos and review those for you. And I can say that while I don't know technically all of how lithium work, so far I have had no problem with the lithium batteries themselves. They've been fantastic. But the way I understand it, most people say that the big caveat with lithiums is, first of all, how many amps are they putting out, which seems to be commensurate with what I've got. The other side is, does it have heat protection and cold protection, which Bob checked out in his review video himself. So I can't see where I'm going to have any problem with these, and they were at a price point. Obviously for me they were free, but these are typically about $350, $375. That's about what a good AGM battery is going to run. So not bad at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was checking out. I had lead acid. I had the Trojans, and the last time I checked, they were 120 amp hour each, 6-volt ones, but they were just over $200 a piece. And it's like, well, by the time I do this, there's not, it takes two of those Trojans, to make one lithium 12 volts. So it's actually getting to the point where it's cheaper just to buy the lithium than the lead acid, and you don't have all that mess and fuss.
Yeah, absolutely. And we discussed that a little bit, but Bob and I were talking, lithiums have now starting to get to a price point that is actually cheaper than lead acid, and it just makes nothing but sense. I think the trick is do we trust them? Do we trust the battery? And so far, I give it a thumbs up. I have had no problems whatsoever with the batteries. My frustrations have been around the systems themselves, and trying to make them all work together and figuring that out, because there's a lot of new stuff to figure out there.
True.
Well, guys, we are at the top of the hour. We're going to have to wrap this one up. I'm just going to say goodnight to all of you. I thought Gary left here. I just blinked a little bit. Everybody looks. Now everybody's back. All right, guys, I'm going to give. Let's see, who's got the good night. So we're gonna have to wrap this up here.
It'll never happen.
I think my internet signal is dying. But it looks like we've got some people that have got to go and got to get out of here, and we are over time. I'm so glad to have you guys on, and thank you for joining us. Richard M., your first time on. Hopefully we will see you again. Can I ask one more question of everybody? Who has signed up for the football?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Dave.
I'm going to drop off here. It was nice meeting all you guys.
Okay, take care, Richard.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Richard.
Don, if you can hear me out there, it'll never happen. I used to have an Android phone, and I had an iPhone at the same time for over a year. It'll never happen.
Yeah. My parents had an Android, and it's like, okay, I finally got her an iPhone because it was like, I can't stand this. I can't figure anything out. So
I know. Why do you need to figure out your phone? An iPhone, you never have to figure anything out.
Yeah, I just got to the point where I mean, this could go on. This is a conversation that can go on forever because everyone's got different ideas of the different things, And I just say, whatever works for you, great. But I love my Apple, so Anyway,
I'm just looking at the show on my laptop, and it's only you and I now.
yeah, that's what I figured. So anyway, well, hey, it's good to see everybody. It's been a while, so I'm glad
All right.
that we could do that. And we'll take care of it, Gary, and take care of everybody. We'll talk to
Yeah,
you guys
good
later.
seeing you again. Take care.
All right, see ya.
All right, you
Oh,
guys,
Dave's
thank you
back.
for being here. There we go. I'm just having. I think I've got my signal has dropped off, so we're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go ahead and give WCRV Adventures the last word of the night. Have a great week and good luck with the draft. If you're not in the football pool, or excuse me, the football league, join us right down there at the bottom. Come along. We would enjoy having you on. We still have about 6 more spots we're trying to fill. David, thank you for being here. I sure appreciate you being here. Mr. Gary, always a pleasure having you on.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
And you're not getting enough solar.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a good week. Live life full time. We will see you guys next time. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. See
Bye
you
now.
later.